Wendy wants to join her husband's church, but will end up alienating her family and church community in the process. Should she give up her community for her lover?
Well, there are times when you have to make certain sacrifices for the faith. Let's say, for example, your husband is a Christian of a particular denomination, and he's able to prove that his beliefs are correct in the Bible. If you are his wife and you can't prove him wrong from the Bible, well, then you got to switch over. The community that you were previously in is in falsehood. You can't abandon the truth just because you have family there. You're being Lot's wife, looking back at what's supposed to be your past. Jesus said in Luke chapter 9, verse 62, that any person who does that will not inherit God's kingdom. Even Luke chapter 14, verse 26 to 33 discusses the same thing. That anyone who doesn't forsake their mother, father, friends, or whoever else is not on the same Christian mission with them is not worthy of Christ. If you know that the church you used to belong to does not teach the correct doctrines, but the one of your spouse does, then you have to switch over and endure the backlash. When you do that, now you are suffering for Christ's sake. If you read Matthew chapter 5, verses 10 to 12, you are picking up your cross, and God will reward you for that.
But shouldn't the wife be able to maintain her community connections? Sure, even if she doesn't believe in the doctrines anymore, at least she can be in touch with her previous community, right? Should she really just cut them all off?
You see, as a Christian, your focus should be to associate with people who believe the truth, not to hang on to people who don't. Paul said that we should not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers in 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 14 to 15. That's to say, not be bosom friends with people who don't believe the truth. You have to carefully examine your church's doctrines in contrast to the scriptures. That's what the Christians in Berea did in Acts chapter 17, verse 11. They did not just believe the apostles immediately, but they went to the Bible to check it out. This is testing the spirits, right? 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. So if you're a woman, I would advise you against marrying a man who doesn't share your beliefs. Remember, never forget this. You as a woman were made to be a help, meet for your husband, right? Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. However, God Almighty has given women freedom in this age so that they can choose who that man is, because in times past it was not so, right? So you have to look carefully and choose the man who you think will lead you in the right path. Don't choose a man who believes the wrong doctrines, otherwise you'll be forced to either follow the wrong things or sin against God by disobeying his rulership. Don't put yourself in that mess.